Okay, so this is a Burgetc plastic pedal. It's in for a service. Basically got some play in the axle here. What that will be the wear of the bush. It's worth replacing these before you wear the axle. The bush is designed to wear out, whereas obviously the axle, you don't want the axle wearing out. The rotation of the axle feels pretty smooth, so I would say the bearing is okay. But as a precaution, we're going to replace the bearing. So your bearing sits there at the end, and your bush will sit there in the pedal. To do this job, you're going to need a 6mm Allen key. You're going to need an 8mm socket and a socket of roughly 9-10mm to help push the bush back in. You'll need either a blind bearing tool puller, one of these might work. This is a what we call these an easy out. So basically, you can screw that in, and then it basically you can pull the bush out. If you haven't got any of these tools, you can get away with using screwdrivers. Just be careful not to stab yourself in the hand, and then you can drift the bush out. It's literally just pressed in, and it's not exactly hard to kind of tap out. Just these sort of tools really make life easier, and it's kind of what they're designed to do anyway. So let's get cracking. So the first thing to do, we need to take the cap off the end. Cap off, and in here you've got a black nut. On the drive side you will have a silver nut. Silver nut is left hand thread, black one is right hand thread, so this is a standard thread. Put your 6mm Allen key in the end of the axle, take your 8mm socket, and then basically just pop that off. And then you'll also have a washer on the end of the bearing, which is there. And then you need to get the bearing out. To get the bearing out, you basically need to push it through. So you can use your Allen key to do that. Like so. And that's the bearing out. You then need to remove the bush, which is obviously the problematic part. So I'm going to use this expanding collet. Pulls that out. And then we've just got the hub shell body. Going to get that quick clean in a parts washer. So inside there you can see the smooth surface bore for the bush, and this side is the threaded end, which is where the end cap goes. So what I need to do now is push the bush into its hole. So to do that, I'm going to take the bush, put it in place by hand, and you can push most of it in with your fingers. Then just take the 9mm socket that I've got here, and line that up, push that down until it stops, and your bush is in place. Next thing you do is put the bearing in. Same again, get most of it in by fingers, and then to finish off with a socket of your choice. Just basically want something that fits just on the edge of the bearing. You don't want it to fit in the middle. Same with this, obviously you want it around the edge of the bush. Okay, give the axle a clean. So if you look closely there, you can see like bits of pitting on the axle itself, which is obviously a sign of corrosion, which luckily we've got here in time. So replacing the bush and put some more fresh grease in there will suffice this time. So reassembly, got the axle, get some quality grease. This is Interflon grease. Really recommend this stuff, especially for areas where you don't want corrosion to get involved. Put a bit of grease in there. Don't be frightened to put loads on. and then pump some grease into the end. Place the washer, followed by the nut. Hold your pedal in place and tighten it up. You just want to nip it up, probably about 6 to 8 Newton meters, if that. I'll probably say less actually, with it being an 8mm. But yeah, probably about 6 or 7 Newton meters max. Just put a bit more grease in there. What that does, it will act as a shield against water and dirt ingress. Replace the end cap, 6mm Allen key. And with these threads being plastic, it's worth backing the thread off before you start screwing it in. Nip this up, you don't need to crank it up tight, it doesn't do anything apart from stop crap from getting inside the pedal. And that's it, you're good to go, nice and smooth, no more play. Beautiful.